Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since we last connected, and I'm so excited to have you here again. If you're new, a special welcome to you too. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. I'm always reading your feedback and connecting with all of you. Today, I've got something really special to share with you. It's a story that's close to my heart, and I hope it resonates with you as much as it did with me. So sit back, relax, and let me take you on this journey. Reaching the age of 70 is more than just another birthday. It's a milestone that often leads to deep reflection. At this age, the life you've lived starts to feel like a collection of memories, triumphs, and lessons learned. But for many, it also brings a sense of liberation, the freedom to shed what no longer serves you and live with greater intention. In this video, we explore 9 things that become irrelevant or meaningless after 70, offering practical advice on how to embrace this new chapter with authenticity and fulfillment. So, sit back, relax, and allow yourself to think about your own life journey as we dive into the 9 things that don't make sense after 70. 1. Worrying about the opinions of others. Throughout most of life, the opinions of others hold a significant weight. From the early days of childhood to adolescence and adulthood, there's an almost constant pressure to conform to societal expectations, meet family standards, or succeed in the eyes of friends and colleagues. Whether it's how we look, what we achieve, or the choices we make, we often base our actions on what others think of us. However, once we reach 70, the weight of others' opinions gradually becomes less significant. This doesn't happen overnight, but over time, we begin to realize that no one's judgment should define our worth or shape how we live our lives. At 70, you've likely accumulated enough experiences to understand that true happiness comes from living authentically, making decisions that feel right to you, not others. Example. Story. Consider my friend Susan, who spent her younger years constantly seeking approval from her family and peers. She worked tirelessly to fit into a mold that was never truly hers, pursuing a career path she thought was prestigious but didn't find fulfilling. In her 70s, she decided to start painting, something she'd always enjoyed but never had the time for. Initially, she worried about what her children would think. After all, they were used to her being the successful lawyer, not an artist. But as soon as she started, she realized that it brought her an unexpected sense of peace. Susan stopped caring about the validation of others and embraced her passion for painting. Today, she doesn't care what anyone thinks, and her life is fuller and more joyous because of it. The lesson here? Once you stop worrying about others' opinions, you start making decisions that align with your own values and passions. This is the kind of freedom that comes with age. 2. Accumulating material possessions. In our younger years, it's common to believe that happiness is tied to acquiring things. A bigger house, a fancier car, the latest gadgets, or an ever-expanding wardrobe. These are the markers of success we're often told to chase. But as you age, and particularly after 70, you realize that these material possessions don't bring lasting happiness. For many, the pursuit of stuff can become a source of stress. The clutter that fills our homes can often mirror the mental clutter that accumulates over the years. By the time you're 70, it's not the things that matter, but the experiences and relationships that bring joy. Example. Story. I remember visiting my grandmother when she was in her 70s. She had a cozy home with minimalistic decor, but I noticed something profound about the way she lived. She had given away most of her possessions. When I asked her about it, she smiled and said, "I've had enough things to last several lifetimes, and now I only want what truly matters: memories, moments, and relationships." Her words stuck with me. and it became clear that she was at peace because she had let go of material items that once seemed so important. Now, when I visit my own home, I'm inspired to declutter and simplify, realizing that the things we accumulate often end up owning us, rather than the other way around. The lesson here is that true wealth isn't measured by the size of your possessions, but by the quality of your relationships and the memories you create. 3. Maintaining social obligations that no longer bring joy. In our younger years, we often say yes to social obligations because we feel it's our duty. Attending family gatherings, work events, or community functions, even when they don't spark joy, becomes a habit. It can feel like there's an unspoken rule that we must engage in certain activities to maintain relationships or uphold societal norms. However, after 70, you've earned the right to prioritize your time and energy. It becomes clear that life is far too short to waste on social obligations that no longer serve you. You have the freedom to say no without guilt and to protect your emotional well-being. Example. Story. I once spoke to a retired teacher, Marjorie, who had spent decades attending every family gathering, social function, and community event out of a sense of duty. By the time she hit 70, she realized she was spending most of her time at events she didn't enjoy simply because she felt obligated. Now she's selective about the activities she attends, focusing on those that bring her genuine happiness, like visiting close friends or enjoying quiet moments at home. She says, "Saying no was the most liberating thing I did for myself in my later years." The lesson here? It's okay to step back from relationships or events that drain your energy. Instead, prioritize the activities that truly bring joy and fulfillment. This will not only enhance your own well-being, but also deepen the connections that matter most to you. 4. Chasing society's standards of beauty. From a young age, many of us are conditioned to believe that beauty is synonymous with youth, smooth skin, and a toned body. Society's obsession with the idealized image of beauty has led countless people to spend their lives trying to stay young or alter their natural appearance. But after 70, most of us come to realize that chasing these external standards of beauty is not only unrealistic, but unnecessary. As we age, we begin to embrace the beauty that lies within, our inner strength, the kindness we show others, and the wisdom we've accumulated over the years. The wrinkles, grey hairs, and other signs of aging are simply the marks of a life well lived. There's a grace and authenticity that comes with aging, and once you accept it, you free yourself from the societal pressures that once held so much power. Example story. I have a friend, Helen, who was always self-conscious about her appearance when she was younger. She spent hours in front of the mirror trying to hide the signs of aging, from covering her greying hair to using makeup to conceal wrinkles. But in her 70s, Helen decided to stop colouring her hair and embrace the natural changes in her body. Now she's proud of her silver locks and the wisdom her wrinkles represent. She often says, "I've earned every wrinkle and every grey hair, and they tell the story of my life." Helen's story is a powerful reminder that beauty isn't about how we look on the outside, but how we carry ourselves with confidence and authenticity. The lesson here is that beauty is about who you are on the inside, not just what you see in the mirror. Embrace the marks of aging as symbols of your life's journey, and you'll feel more beautiful than ever. 5. Holding on to activities that no longer bring fulfillment. As we age, the activities we once enjoyed might lose their appeal. Hobbies, sports, or social engagements that once filled us with joy can sometimes become burdensome or unfulfilling. The key at 70 is recognizing when it's time to let go of these outdated routines and make space for new experiences that better reflect who you are today. It doesn't mean abandoning the things you loved. It just means giving yourself permission to evolve. You might discover new passions, develop new skills, or find joy in activities you never considered before. Example. Story. My Uncle Bob had been an avid golfer for most of his life. However, by the time he reached 70, he found that the sport no longer excited him. He felt tired after every game, and the joy he once found in golf was gone. One day, instead of hitting the links, he decided to try woodworking, something he'd always been curious about but never had the time for. To his surprise, he found immense satisfaction in creating beautiful furniture pieces. Bob's story is a great reminder that it's okay to shift your focus as you age. Letting go of outdated activities can open doors to new and fulfilling experiences. The lesson here is that life after 70 is about continuing to evolve. Don't be afraid to try new things and let go of the activities that no longer serve you. 5. Holding on to activities that no longer bring fulfillment. As we grow older, it's natural for our interests, hobbies, and routines to evolve. In earlier stages of life, many of us developed specific activities or commitments that we believed were central to our happiness. However, by the time we reach our 70s, we may find that the things we once loved have lost their charm or have become more of a chore. For example, think about a person who once dedicated countless hours to playing tennis or running marathons, but now finds those activities tiring or less enjoyable. It's a reflection of how priorities shift with age. At this stage in life, it's essential to evaluate whether these activities still serve you or if they have simply become routine. One such story comes to mind: my own grandmother, who spent many years volunteering at the local animal shelter. When she reached her 70s, she realized that the work had started to feel more like an obligation than a joy. After some reflection, she decided to step back and focus on other activities she had neglected over the years, such as painting and spending time with her grandchildren. She found a renewed sense of fulfillment in these new passions, illustrating how it's okay to let go of what no longer brings you joy to make room for what truly fulfills you. Similarly, for many, letting go of activities that no longer bring joy can open up new opportunities for personal growth. You might discover a love for creative writing, cooking, gardening, or simply indulging in the quiet moments that come with being present in nature. The key here is to give yourself the permission to evolve and not feel guilty about outgrowing certain hobbies. 6. Tolerating toxic relationships. Toxic relationships are a significant source of stress, whether they involve family members, friends, or even acquaintances. These relationships often drain our emotional energy, leave us feeling unappreciated, or cause anxiety and frustration. But for many years, we tolerate them out of obligation or fear of confrontation. The idea of walking away from a toxic relationship might seem impossible, but as we grow older, we begin to see that our emotional well-being is more important than trying to please everyone. For example, consider someone who has been in a strained friendship for decades, continually making excuses for the other person's hurtful behavior. It isn't until the person reaches their 70s that they realize the emotional toll this friendship has taken on them. They finally gather the courage to step back, feeling the weight lift off their shoulders once the toxicity is removed from their life. This story echoes what I've witnessed with older generations. My own father, for instance, had a long-standing relationship with a cousin who constantly criticized him and made him feel inferior. As he entered his 70s, he made the difficult decision to distance himself from that cousin, a move that left him feeling liberated and much more at peace. In a similar way, by allowing ourselves to walk away from toxic relationships, we make space for healthier connections, those that nurture our souls and bring joy. It's crucial to invest in relationships that lift us up, offering kindness, respect, and mutual support. If you can relate to this, you've likely experienced a shift in your social circle as you age. The people who truly matter are those who bring positivity into your life, not those who leave you emotionally drained. 7. Comparing yourself to others. Comparison is often said to be the thief of joy, and this is particularly true as we grow older. Throughout our younger years, we constantly measure ourselves against others, whether it's in terms of career achievements, family life, or financial success. We tend to compare our own progress with the outward success of those around us. However, by the time we reach 70, we realize that comparison only robs us of the satisfaction we could otherwise feel for our own accomplishments. Take, for example, someone who spent years competing with peers to attain promotions, recognition, or material wealth. But in later years, they start to realize that these external markers of success are not as fulfilling as they once thought. They find peace in embracing their own journey, understanding that fulfillment is a personal experience, not something to be measured against others. A dear friend of mine, in her 70s, shared with me her realization that, for much of her life, she had been comparing her career path to others, feeling inadequate when others succeeded faster or more spectacularly. Yet, upon reflection, she came to the profound understanding that her own journey was unique and worthwhile. She had created a fulfilling life that wasn't defined by the rapid success of others, but by the depth of the relationships and experiences she had cultivated. When we stop comparing ourselves to others, we free ourselves to appreciate the life we've lived, the lessons we've learned, and the unique path we've taken. True happiness comes when we embrace our journey, no matter how it may differ from someone else's. At 70, the pressure of comparison melts away, and we start living more authentically. 8. Clinging to outdated goals. Throughout our younger years, we set ambitious goals, whether it was climbing the corporate ladder, achieving financial stability, or gaining recognition in a specific field. These goals often become the driving force in our lives, guiding our decisions and shaping our future. However, by the time we reach 70, we might find that many of these goals no longer resonate with us or hold any significant value. For example, consider a person who spent years striving for a particular career milestone, such as becoming the CEO of a company. By the time they reach their 70s, they may realize that what they truly value is spending time with loved ones and enjoying a slower pace of life. Their goals have shifted from professional success to personal happiness and fulfillment. It's a reminder that our goals should evolve with us. What we sought in our 20s or 30s may no longer be relevant in our later years. I've witnessed this shift with several older adults. One woman I know had spent decades focusing on advancing her career. But after retirement, she found that she no longer cared about promotions or accolades. Instead, she discovered a deep passion for mentoring younger people and spending more time traveling with her family. She redefined success on her own terms, shifting her goals from career-driven ambitions to meaningful life experiences. Redefining your goals after 70 is a beautiful process of self-discovery. It's about acknowledging what truly matters at this stage in life, whether it's nurturing relationships, traveling, learning new things, or simply enjoying the quiet moments. By letting go of outdated goals, you can focus on the things that bring you joy and fulfillment today. 9. Feeling guilty for prioritizing your own happiness. One of the most common feelings many people in their later years experience is guilt. Throughout much of our lives, we are conditioned to prioritize the needs of others, our families, careers, friends, and community. We've given so much of ourselves to others that the thought of prioritizing our own happiness sometimes feels selfish. However, once we reach 70, it becomes clear that we must shift this mindset for our own well-being. Consider the example of a woman who spent her entire life caring for her children, supporting her spouse, and helping her extended family. Now, in her 70s, she feels guilty about taking time for herself. But over time, she comes to understand that self-care is not selfish. It's necessary. When we take care of ourselves, we are better equipped to care for others. Prioritizing your own happiness doesn't mean abandoning responsibilities. It means acknowledging that you deserve to enjoy life as much as anyone else. I have seen this realization in many older adults. A close friend of mine, after years of selflessly caring for her children and volunteering in her community, decided to take up hiking, a hobby she had always loved but had set aside for years. At first, she felt guilty for taking time away from others. But as she continued, she noticed how much happier and more fulfilled she felt. She was recharged, which allowed her to show up as a better version of herself for her family and friends. The lesson here is that prioritizing your own happiness and well-being is essential for living a fulfilled life. You deserve to live your life with joy, free from guilt. By nurturing your own happiness, you can continue to contribute positively to the lives of others, but you must first take care of yourself. Conclusion: embracing freedom and fulfillment. After 70. As we approach our 70s and beyond, we enter a unique stage in life that allows us to reflect on what truly matters. The things that once seemed important, whether societal expectations, material possessions, or toxic relationships, often become less significant. At this point, we are given the opportunity to live authentically, embracing a life that is true to our values, desires, and passions. The lessons learned through the stories of others, as well as through personal experiences, show us that we don't have to carry the burdens of the past. We can let go of outdated goals, toxic relationships, and unnecessary obligations, making space for joy, freedom, and fulfillment. As you move forward into this next chapter of life, remember that it is your time to shine. You have earned the wisdom that comes with age, and now is the time to live life on your own terms, free from the constraints of external expectations. Embrace the new opportunities that come your way, focus on what makes you happy, and above all, live fully. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you open the door to a lighter, more intentional life. A life filled with joy, peace, and authentic connections. This is the true gift of aging gracefully. The freedom to prioritize what really matters, the courage to shed what no longer fits, and the wisdom to appreciate the beauty of your own journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue the conversation. What's one insight you're taking away from this video? Share it with me in the comments below.